What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be swapping out a corporate Chevy 14-bolt axle in a 2016 Chevy Express. The reason I'm doing it is because my Chevy Express came with an open differential axle and I want to put some sort of limited slip in it. So I found another axle from another Chevy Express that came with the G80 option that has the Eaton clutch pack type limited slip differential installed in it from factory. And I was able to purchase that axle for I think $700 online, and from I want to say LMC junkyard or something like that. It's some kind of national thing where you can get parts online for your vehicle shipped to you from wrecked vehicles. Anyway, that's what I've got. That's what we're going to be doing. What else do I know about it? So my plan is to just unbolt the disc and parking brake assemblies off the end of the axle in the van without disconnecting any of the lines, hoses, whatever, and hang it out of the way, and then just swap the actual housing and bolt everything back together. So I think it should be pretty straightforward. This is my first video, real video that I've ever made, so bear with me, and we'll see what we can do from there. See you in a few. We took the tires off already before I started filming. No big deal. That's what we're running. We got the Cooper Evolution mud terrain tires. They've been on there for about a year and they're already basically done. I kind of had a feeling the tread would wear out faster than a normal all-terrain tire, but I didn't realize it would go that fast. So here's what we got. This is the axle that came in it from the factory, and like I said before, it does have an open differential. Disc brakes, it has drum parking brakes. So my plan is to unbolt the brake assembly from these flanges. We got to do the drive shaft and hang these cables out of the way. We got to drain the oil first too, guys. We got it up on some 6-ton jack stands. Got the front tires chalked. And I have some other people out here helping me today. This is Stefan.
Hello.
There's Colt Wayne. Crusher. There's Jace. And Ethan. Ethan, say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Oh yeah, we got that go-kart today from Tractor Supply for $100 because they said it didn't run. Well, it does run. The torque converter doesn't slip, so it just conks out because it can't idle. $100, brand new go-kart. And we're smoking some pork butts.
Hey, Brooklyn.
Oh yeah. That'll be good later. Let's get back to the van. So this is the axle that we're going to be swapping out with the stock axle. This is another stock axle from another Chevy Express, but this one came with the Eaton, or has the G80 option, which is the Eaton clutch pack limited slip. So there it is right there. And the reason I didn't just put a limited slip in the other axle is because I didn't really want to invest in all the tools. I didn't want to buy another unit and deal with the input, the pinion, the crush washer, and all that stuff. So I found this for $700 online, and everything's already good to go. And it's a direct swap. Now, something else, these are 3500 vans. It is a 3500 model, but it doesn't have a full float axle. These come with semi-float bearing type. I already pulled the axle shafts out the other night, and it's been draining a couple nights, so we didn't have to deal with all the grease. But there's the axle shafts there. And I measured them with a caliper, and the thickest part is 1.65 inches diameter. And they do have 8 lug.
And this is a magnet.
Yep, that's your magnet. So, let's get back to it. Okay, so we dropped the spare tire for extra room behind here, and it made all the difference. Now we need to drain the fluid. I think last time I changed the fluid in this, I used Perma gasket maker. And there is a trick I learned changing differential fluid in the past. You just leave a couple of bolts so the cover doesn't just fall off, and you can let the fluid out slower. Hey guys, I'm gonna need a screwdriver too.
How much screwdriver do you need?
A flathead, so I can kind of pry the the cover off. I'm sure it's stuck.
Hey, that's my pot. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's been 3 or 4 years since I did this. Yeah. Yeah, it's been about 3 or 4 years since I did this.
Yeah.
Give me a hammer.
Hey, right there.
Watch out for the camera, please. Wow. Man, that stuff looks looks clean. Looks like cooking oil.
Yes.
I forget what brand it was, but that was full synthetic. Gear oil.
Well, I guess no dirt got in, right?
Definitely not. This axle only has 98,000 miles on it. And I think I changed the fluid at around 60,000, maybe less. The axle we're swapping in only has 92,000 on it, so we're upgrading in a way. We're getting a limited slip and less miles.
It's even yellow in this.
There we go.
But everybody else's differential has black oil.
How do you know this?
Because every time Dad opens it, there's
Don't hit the
black
camera,
oil.
please. You're on the tripod.
We have opened one of the differential.
Yeah, and ours
I think he means
comes out.
transmissions.
Yeah, and ours comes out perfectly yellow. Theirs is black.
Alright, we can take the rest of the bolts out because it's pretty much done. The bulk of it drained out already.
Yeah, so you can add did it all like that here.
Nice. Right on my chin.
If that went in your mouth, that would be horrible.
Boy, that gasket maker's sure stuck.
Oh. Good.
There. Take that out of here.
Oh, that's...
We actually gave it more horsepower last time when we painted it red. Here. Alright, pass me the tripod.
I like that you paint a part of it.
Let me see.
Dad, I like that you paint some.
So there it is. That's the open differential. It's a 9.5 inch ring gear. It's a 342:1 ratio. But that fluid was like clean as a whistle, man.
Yeah.
We're pretty light. We're pretty easy on this thing anyway. It doesn't see much heavy duty use. Pretty much just drive back and forth to church and the grocery store. All right, here, take it back. Okay, so now we're gonna remove the disc brakes and the rotor. So we need to be able to pull these axle shafts out, and we're just gonna leave everything connected, and we're gonna hang everything up here in the wheel well, or support it best we can. I already loosened up these bolts. These are 17 millimeter. Did he just kick the camera? Did it move? Can you see it in the frame?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. Oh, nice. Okay, so let's tie this up.
Where does this move on? And the other one right down here.
So that's what we're doing there.
I know.
We tied it up, out of the way, so it's not pulling on the brake line. We don't have to disconnect anything. Alright, now we need to get brake pads off. I'm going to put these on the ground, like this is the inside and that's the outside. Put these in the parts bowl. Okay, now we need to take off the this support for the actual caliper. I think it's a what size?
That's a 17.
No, it's bigger. It's either 18 or 19.
Alright.
Let's see.
We could have just taken that whole thing off.
They're
I
the
didn't,
same
didn't
size,
realize.
Dad.
That's all right.
They're the same size. See, all the same line.
Those are the same size. Here, let's see.
19.
It's 18. We need an 18. Yeah, that's the one. All right. hammer. Can you give me an 18 that's not a ratchet?
Sure.
I'll leave that in there, just a couple threads so that it doesn't just fall off. Now that's a real impact wrench. Here, pick up that and just point it at what I'm doing so people can see. There it is.
Oh, that's nice.
See, we could have just left all this put together. That's all right. We'll just put the bolts back in it, and we'll lay it. We'll just put it aside. Looks like they had some kind of thread locker on these.
Yeah.
We'll have to remember to put some on when we put it back together. This should just pull off. Oh wait, parking. Did you? Hey, Stefan. Did you open the parking brake?
I did.
You pulled the release?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess you should. I guess you did, because I would never be able to move this if you didn't.
Alright, there it goes.
There's the caliper. I mean the rotor. Here, put that over there. So what we got here, as I learned on the other one, this is the wheel speed sensor. What I'm pointing at right here, down in here, is the actual sensor on the back side here that plugs into this wire. And if you don't take that out first, you can't push the axles in to get the C-clips off in the differential. So I'm glad I learned on the other axle, because we're reusing all this stuff from our brakes, our rotors, all that stuff. The other axle didn't even have rotors or anything on it. It just had the axle flanges and these parking brakes. But we're going to reuse all this stuff on the donor axle. And we're going to repeat this process on the other side.
It's supposed to be recording.
Maybe you need to work that. Okay, we're going to do this a little bit different this time. We're just going to take off these bolts here rather than these bolts, because the whole thing will come off as one piece. All right, here.
It's a ball.
Colt, let me see that wrench, please.
I don't have a wrench.
I mean the hammer. You're right. It's not a wrench. Should have been using the impact for this.
Dad, come on, touch the ring.
It's okay, bud. I already got it loose.
But no, you just missing all of the impact. Dad, I'm just getting this here. I need it.
Thank you, bud.
Oh, do you need it more? Dad, you need it more better.
All right, pick it up and record. I mean, move it. All right. Let's take the brake pads out. This is the inside one. They're just trying to fall out. This is the outside one, and we're gonna hang. Just gonna hang the whole assembly right here out of the way, and that way we don't have to disconnect anything as far as brake lines or. And now the rotor. Colt. Shh. All right. Next thing we need to do is disconnect the wheel speed sensors and take them out of here. Where's this one at? Down here. Right there. Alright, go ahead and cut, and we need to figure out. Okay, so this is the wheel speed sensors we're going to be removing. And like I said before, you have to have these out or else you can't push the axle shafts in to get the C-clips off. I need a screwdriver. Give me a smaller screwdriver, something with a thin blade, like a. Give me my 10-in-1. I mean my extended reach from over there. All right. There we go. I remember the other one on the other axle when I was trying to get it out. I wasn't exactly gentle with it. I broke it. It's coming. Just slow. It's pressed in there pretty tight. Boy, it's just dirty.
Yeah.
There it goes. Okay, almost. There it is. It's basically just a pretty strong magnet. I guess it's a, I want to say Hall effect. There it is. And maybe later we're going to be wiring. I'm going to try to do something because on these vans, traction control, you can turn it off, but once you get past a certain speed, like, I don't know, it's pretty slow, like 10 miles an hour maybe, or maybe 20. I don't know, because I've never really paid attention to that. But you turn off traction control, and as soon as you get up past that certain speed, it comes back on automatically. You can't do burnouts. You can't peel out in the mud. It cuts power to the engine. And I have HP tuners, and there's no way that I can figure to program it out. In the Chevy truck, I can turn it off and it'll stay off, but on this it won't, and that's really stupid. So what I'm going to try to do is wire all 4 wheel speed sensors to either the front or the back, so that the computer sees that the wheels are always turning at the same speed. Wire them in parallel if that's possible. I don't know yet, but we're going to try it and see if it works. So we'll get the other one off. Come on. Follow me over there. And this is 8mm on the bolt. Oh, can you do me a favor, Stefan? Can you see it in the frame?
Yes.
Run over there and put that bolt. Pick up that little bolt, put it in the parts tray.
Yeah.
Take this one too. Hey, where's Ethan?
I don't know. I think he's playing with the dog.
Okay. There we go. Man, it's got all kinds of little fine metal stuck to it. I wonder if that's brake dust.
Maybe.
It's metallic, but I don't know where that's coming from. Off the road. This side had a lot more than the other side. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is get the axle shafts out. Alright, go ahead and kill it till we get set up for that. So while we're working on the van, we've been smoking these pork butts here. And they're ready to pull. We're going to finish them off in the oven at about 225. Bring them up to temperature. So I was able to get the drive shaft out pretty easy. I don't know how I'm going to get it back on. Oh no, see, now it moves in and out. See? Look.
Yeah.
See? It telescopes back and forth. It was just stuck. The U-joint was just stuck in the yoke, I think. Probably just a little bit of rust. But now we can turn the pinion so we can access to get this pin out. Let me sit on my Indian style here. It's gonna take a little bit of here. Move. I gotta swing my feet around. So the spider gear pin, I believe, is 10mm. And it's cold under here. The wind's blowing. It's been about 32 degrees all day, and it's got a bitterness to the air. There we go. We haven't used an impact wrench yet today. We've just been using hammers and open end wrenches.
Except for the differential cover.
All right. So that's the bolt that holds the pin in. Who's whining?
I don't know.
And now we need to get this. Take this bolt out. There we go. I gotta turn the pinion gear the other way. Okay. There we go. Now we gotta take the axle shafts out. And we should be able just to push them in. These clips are a lot easier to get out because the other differential has that positive traction unit in it. Here, reach over there and push that axle tube in. I mean that axle shaft in. You should be able to see. There it is. The C-clip just fell out. No big deal. Right there. Alright, Stefan, go ahead and slide that axle shaft all the way out. Support it with your other hand. Don't let it hit the ground or nothing.
There we go.
There it is. Oh man. Here, put this, wipe that, get it on there. Go get more rags. I didn't know that was going to happen.
Oh, hi.
Well, it's a good thing we live out in the country and we don't give a crap about the driveway. Well, I do. That sucks, but it's going to be stained. Now we'll know for the other side. Well, it's leaning that way, so it probably won't come out of this side. The whole thing's pitched down there towards the creek. Go ahead and try to wipe it up. Push it up. Push it into a... Man, that sucks. Did not see that coming. Stick a rag in the end of the axle tube to make it stop leaking out. Oh well.
What should I do?
Just pick those up, take them, throw them in the garbage, and then come back with some more. I'm gonna cut because there's no reason.
Nothing in here. There we go.
So nothing came out of this side because it's leaning that way. No big deal. So now we got to put this pin back in the spider gears or they'll just fall apart whenever you turn it. Come over here and grab the camera for me. Here. It'll be alright. Just slide this back up in the... Slide this bolt out. Oh, it doesn't want to go. Because one of them, that pinion gear moved a little bit or something. I mean the spider gear. Yeah. Oh, I can't turn it either because I don't have the axle shaft. There it goes. Alright, it's back in. There it goes. Get this retaining pin back in. That dog needs to stop. Where's Duke?
I think he's outside. I don't know.
There. Now we got to put the cover back on it so that we can handle it and not get our fingers all jammed up in these gears. Go ahead and cut. Bring me the cover and the bolts. So I disconnected this parking brake cable from the axle. I put the bolt back in temporarily so I wouldn't misplace it, even though it's going to go on the other axle. Next, we're going to take off the shock absorbers. Some bolts there. Oh, shot of my custom exhaust. It's a Flowmaster muffler, and it's been under here for, I don't know, 4 years now or so. And it dumps out the side here, but in front of the passenger tire. My exhaust tip. But it's held up pretty good. It's got some rust on it now. But it still sounds good. I got it hanging from stock hangers. Yeah. And then after we take off the shocks, we're going to take off the bottom, obviously. We're going to take off them flanges and hang the parking brake assembly out of the way. After that, the last thing to do is take off them U-bolts there. That's a 3-inch lift spacer we did last year. Alright, you ready?
Yeah,
Here.
for sure. What do you want to know?
We're actually going to use a... You got that in frame?
Yeah.
We actually used an impact this time. Put that in there. 21 millimeter is what this is. Where's that rubber mallet? Here. Come on, you butthole. Here. Just unscrew it with this. I'm gonna go ahead and climb out of here anyway. We gotta pick up all this. So I can't reach that other bolt from where I'm sitting. And we put the differential cover back on just so to keep us from spilling any more fluid that might be in there. And keep our fingers out of the gears when we're dropping this thing and rolling it around. That's another thing we haven't thought about is, I guess we're gonna put it on dollies. Drop it down on dollies. Roll it out. Oh, there's a bunch of gear oil in this thing.
Yeah. The whole shaft was full.
Just because that shock absorber is pushing down on the bolt,
Yeah.
I can't just pull it out. Maybe maybe I can arm wrestle it, push it up. There we go. All right. So what size were these flange bolts? I forget. They were 20 something, weren't they?
I think 21. Why don't you try that impact socket?
Yeah. We're not going to be able to use that impact on this at all because the leaf springs are in the way.
Or is it 17?
No, it's bigger than that. It's like 24 or something.
Alright.
But we're going to need to use the wrench because that's not going to work. We can't get the impact on it because all
How about 29 fuss?
this stuff's in the way.
This.
Go ahead and cut. All right, now we're taking off these axle flanges that hold the axle flange bolts that hold the parking brake and disc brake assembly on. That's not so bad. That one's loose.
Gotta cut the battery.
Okay. All right, so we got the flange nuts off the back. There's 4 of them. They're 24 millimeter. Got the speed sensor cable connector up out of the way. And we're about to tie wire. This assembly should just pull right off. I'm going to tie it up out of the way. I'm going to hang it here from the leaf spring. That's good. Let's see. There it goes. Perfect. Just what I wanted. Alright, now we're gonna hang this. Hang it by this right here. Alright. All that's left now to do, see, here's the brake caliper, parking brake, and speed sensor out of the way. All we got to do next is unbolt the U-bolts, but we ain't going to do that till we get the other side in this condition. Then we're going to support this thing with some jack stands, probably. Well, probably two floor jacks. We'll support the axle tubes. We'll unbolt these U-bolts, and the axle should just lower. We'll put some dollies down here. We got some 4-wheel dollies in there from furniture mover and dollies. We'll put under here, and then we'll be able to roll this axle out. And then tomorrow, because we got to paint the other axle before we put it in, so we're gonna have to do that tonight and tomorrow. So once we get this dropped out of here, that'll be it for today. We got the axle all ready to come out. As you can see, everything's not disconnected but hanging out of the way. We've been over that 100 times. And so now what I've done is I got jack stands supporting the weight of the axle, so when I unscrew those U-bolts, the axle is going to spin forward is what's going to happen. The weight of the differential pinion in the front there, it's going to swing, it's going to spin down towards the ground, which is fine because it's all, we got it on jack stands, and I got tie wire holding it there, so hopefully it won't just fall off, but if it does, it does. I doubt it's going to. And now we're going to start unbolting. Here, take the camera. Hopefully this impact fits under here like this. I should have put the jack stands in. Nuts and stuck in there. Here, take these. Don't just throw them on the ground. Put them in a parts bin bucket or something, a magnetic tray or something. Ethan. Come over here. You can put it in a tray that we already have over here. Doesn't have to be a brand new one every time. You know what you can do is put the nuts and washers back on here. Just thread them on.
Yeah.
Here, take them.
Okay.
Let's go do the other side. Oh. Come on, camera boy. I wish I would have put the jack stands in more, but it's all good. We need to put the pin in this thing so that in case I hit that ratchet arm, it won't come crashing down. There. There we go. Oh, look at that. Well, still want to dig it. Take it out. I don't know why it wants to fall down. Pay attention to what you're filming here. Got 4. I only got 3. Where's the other nut? It's right here. All right. Well.
Shouldn't it be falling down?
No, because it's
Oh.
it's got a pin holding it, and we're holding it up against the leaf springs, so it can't rotate.
Right.
We're gonna have to figure out another way to let it down.
Jack up the leaf springs?
It's not a bad idea. I don't think those will get high enough. Maybe what we can do is what dripped all the way over there?
I don't know.
Your rags?
Probably.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna jack the axle up just a touch and let the jack stand down 1 notch.
There go the ducks.
Like that. Let's go to the other side. See what happens.
Now the axle's free of the leaf springs and the lift wedge.
Where's Ethan?
Feeding dogs.
Well, Daisy's running around over there, unsupervised. I need 3 hands. Straighten out that jack stand so it sits on the ground. Watch your fingers don't get pinched underneath it.
I'm not.
Make it straight. Bring it towards you. It's not even close to straight.
Like that?
Yeah. Now we need to get a dolly underneath it. Oh, it's stuck over there on that lift block is why it's not rotating all the way. All right. I'm just thinking, taking forever. All right. I'm just gonna pull the pin on this thing and let it come down. I'm gonna take it off and just, it's not even that heavy, I can handle that. There. Definitely gonna be beer 30 tonight. Oh man, this thing's not even. That's it. Here, let me get out from under there. Let me pull it out the back. I just took the axle out of a perfectly good van. Whose idea was it to hang the disc brake thing there?
Yours.
That was a bad idea. There she goes. In all her glory.
It's done. It's great. We can have a locker in.
Yep. So here's the other axle. It's in the identical condition. Stripped down to just the housing. The axles are right there. I think we already went over that. But this one here has that locker in it, or the limited slip, should I say. It's not a true locker. And that'll wrap it up for today. We're gonna prep this axle out. We're gonna give it a wash down with some acetone, maybe a wire brush. We're gonna spritz it with some black paint. And we did differential cover on this one. We did it gloss orange, because the theme of this van has been Dukes of Hazzard for several years now. Some of the stickers fell off, but we got that on there. Stars and bars. We got the 01. We got the Smokey and the Bandit front license plate. That used to have an 01 with the stars and bars on it, but I switched it out because it was getting chipped up. But that's been on there for a few years now. And the best thing about it is we got the Dixie horn. You can see in there. Reach in there and hit the horn. You got to make sure you dedicate. You do it right. Nice. You didn't release it on time, but that's all right. And that's it. Oh, here's one other thing. I got these tires about 1 year ago exactly. I'm not sure how many miles are on it since we put the new tires. I didn't take that into, I didn't record that information, but they're about 1 year old exactly. And this is the condition of the tread on the tires that are running around. I think this was, yeah, these were the back tires. We have already rotated them once. But this here is a brand new spare. Look at the difference in that tread. And I knew that was going to happen deep down, I really did. But I didn't anticipate it being so soon. I figured it'd last maybe a couple of years, but that's all you get when you're running these mud terrain tires. So we're going to go back to the Mickey Thompsons next, because I had those on there last. They were the Deegan 38s, I think. They were an all-terrain tread, and they were on there about 3 years before they needed to be switched. So these tires were fun while they lasted. They got great off-road. We have taken this thing through some mud and some soft backyards towing a trailer, and it didn't even break traction. But that's it. That is it.